This video explains the endosymbiotic theory. And we can break down the word endosymbiotic to help us remember and understand. Endo just means within, and symbiosis means together. Biotic means living. So the theory is basically the idea of how single cells became multifunctional by living together within another cell. And it all started about 3.6 billion years ago, when life on Earth consisted of a bunch of basic single-celled organisms called prokaryotes. Again, we can break down the word to help us understand. So pro means before, and karyote means nut or kernel. So prokaryote means before the kernel. And in this case, the kernel is referring to a membrane-bound nucleus, which sounds kind of weird, but you have to remember that when scientists were first describing these things, they didn't know then what we know now, so they used terms that made sense to them at the time. So some prokaryotes had special functions like using oxygen or harnessing sunlight to produce different forms of energy. And what the endosymbiotic theory suggests is that about 2 billion years ago, a host cell engulfed these special prokaryotes and started working together to generate energy they could use to live on. So one of these absorbed cells became the mitochondria, and this merged cell evolved to become what we now identify as animal cells, which of course in turn make up animals. And some cells also absorbed a second special prokaryotic cell, which became chloroplasts. And those newly merged cells eventually became plant cells that make up photosynthetic plants. Both plant and animal cells are eukaryotic cells, and eu just means good, well, or true. So eukaryotes are cells with true nucleus. So in some ways, the endosymbiotic theory is kind of like if you ate a cheeseburger and instead of digesting it, you kept it around, it became part of you, you gave it protection, but you used it as a tool to give you energy that turned you into an improved, more powerful version of yourself. And that's the endosymbiotic theory of how eukaryotic cells originated.